So I started Rancher almost at the beginning of Rancher government, and honestly, it's one of those things that it solves a purpose that no other company can do, especially around the federal government. We take those things that I like to call them the three pillars: security, compliance, and working in air gaps, edge environments, and treating them as first-class citizens, which is incredibly important. And taking those capabilities and actually applying it to mission is why I came here. I spent a lot of time in the IC and the DoD, working on actual mission systems, and having the tools and the technology with this company to actually solve those mission needs has been invaluable. That's the reason I'm here. I'm going to go back to the three pillars because that's really what it comes down to. So the three challenges that every one of our customers face that is kind of unique to the federal government is that there are always very strict security requirements, very strict compliance requirements, and there's always unique challenges when it comes to working in completely disconnected environments, potentially at the edge, as we like to call it, the tactical edge. For those specific use cases, and keep in mind, this is the federal government, right? The workloads that they're leveraging and using day in and day out, they're incredibly sensitive. We're talking things that could potentially affect the entire nation, affect lives, all those things. So those are the challenges that we are here to solve and provide, a platform to provide mission critical applications securely, consistently, reliably. The biggest difference from my perspective in terms of what we do versus some of the alternatives that are out there is that the tools we build are very tactical, and they're built to kind of fit into a number of different situations, as opposed to kind of being this chef's menu approach to this is everything that you could possibly ever need. We're far more tactical in the sense that leveraging one of our products versus all of our products might make sense if you're at a tactical edge with very small compute. You don't have a lot of resources at your disposal. You have no connectivity to the outside world. You don't need a full suite of tools. You're not running a security factory or software factory or anything like that. You're working in this very small form factor device. For that, we have tools to solve those problems. But at the same time, if you are leveraging those enterprise implementations, we can also address that. And the best part is you can manage, maintain all of that from the same centralized place. So we're very flexible, very cognizant of all those different use cases that exist, as opposed to the alternative, which is a more chef's menu, I need everything at every kind of step of the way. First and foremost, let's talk about the tactical edge. And I think it's probably important to define what the edge is, because the edge is entirely subjective. And if you go and interview 10 different people, all 10 of those people are going to have entirely different definitions of what they're doing with the edge, right? So if you carve that out, and you need to kind of be flexible in terms of what the edge is and what capabilities you're providing. So for those tactical edge implementations, think wearable technologies, very small form factor devices that exist out in the theater and in the field, and there's not a lot of connectivity, not a lot of compute, not a lot of power that's available for that. We have K3S, which is our edge-focused Kubernetes distribution, built to run on very small form factor devices, ARM devices, think Raspberry Pi size devices, wearable technologies, FPGAs, really built for the tactical edge. It's a solution that runs at around half the resource allocation as typical upstream Kubernetes, built for those very small form factor devices. Now, at the same time, if you're looking at that more database at the edge approach to things, we also have Harvester, which is our HCI or hyper-converged infrastructure offering. And that's going to provide the capability to actually build out and manage and maintain more enterprise-grade applications and mission applications at the edge, having resilience to fail over across nodes. Think of a server rack that's sitting at some tactical edge or some base or fort or whatever the case may be. Harvester can still function there. And the great part about that is it also then layers on all the goodness that comes with Kubernetes, with reliance, reliability, security, all those capabilities, and then layer on top of that the automation that goes with all of those tools. It's a very powerful story for all of those use cases. So the way we kind of approach the traditional virtual machine workloads, and I want to emphasize that at our heart and soul, we're a Kubernetes company. Everything we do revolves around Kubernetes. We exist because of Kubernetes. But with that in mind, the way we approach software is that very modern application approach to everything that we do, to include our way of managing and maintaining traditional virtual machines. So we're leveraging, with our tool Harvester, which is an HCI solution, we're leveraging an open source tool known as KubeVirt to actually have the ability to spin up traditional VM workloads on Kubernetes infrastructure, which is incredibly powerful when you think of the modern application approach, because now you not only have the ability to provision these traditional virtual machines on top of Kubernetes, but then you can run that right alongside your other Kubernetes workloads. So it's this great gateway for those folks who are kind of working in this traditional environment to still be able to support those traditional workloads, but then have the ability to quickly transition over to those more application modernization approaches with containerization and Kubernetes-centric workloads. So Harvester's been a great tool for us. The other way we've architected it is that it's fully functional, not only in a data center enterprise environment, but also out at the edge working on more small form factor devices. From our perspective, security's top of mind. It's our bread and butter when it comes to working in these environments, and it has to be. As the federal government, security is always the most important part. So for us, the way we kind of approach security is that everything needs to be security focused first. We're a US-based company. We need to prove that. We need to provide those artifacts to our customers that they know and they have the reassurance that what they're getting from us is not only coming from us at Rancher Government, a US-based company, but also that they have the way to verify that and all the other artifacts that come with that. So first and foremost, we provide with our Carbide offering, software supply chain artifacts that our customers aren't going out to the open internet and downloading their artifacts from there. They're getting them from us, our hardened, secured implementation of the entire Rancher product portfolio. And then they have the ability to verify, validate all of these artifacts in any environment to include air-gapped. And the other benefit of with that and the way we've packaged this together is then they have the ability to, and what comes with that is the software bill of materials, vulnerability scans, and all those things can be attested and provenance can be provided back to us at Rancher Government. That way, our customers have the reassurance that the software they're getting is coming from us at Rancher Government. So digital transformation, there's no silver bullet when it comes to digital transformation. It's a very hard problem to solve. And anybody who comes to you and says, we can solve your problems with application modernization, digital transformation, that's certainly probably snake oil, right? If I'm being honest. The way we approach it is we provide a consistent platform to be completely agnostic of the environment that you're deploying to, which the world kind of exists in this hybrid state, and that's just going to continue to evolve, especially in the federal government. The federal government doesn't have the luxury of relying on a single cloud. They need to be redundant across multiple clouds in data centers at the edge. So the way we approach is that we provide that consistent platform, that consistent API that if you develop your application and you modernize your application strategically to follow best practices when it comes to, microservice infrastructure and all those capabilities, regardless of the environment that you're targeting or the multiple environments that you're targeting, it will just work, whether it's in AWS cloud, Azure cloud, on-prem in a data center, leveraging our Harvester solution, at the tactical edge, leveraging K3S. All those capabilities will provide that consistent platform regardless of the environment that you're working against. So I'm very excited about Carbide 2.0 for a couple of reasons. For one, our customers are really looking for kind of the easy button approach to accessing the artifacts that we're providing from Carbide perspective. So one of the capabilities that we're building out for Carbide 2.0 is a user interface for our customers to actually be able to come in, see exactly what's in our registry, the last scan that was executed against that. It gives them that visibility into kind of an overarching view and a quick way for them to access and see everything that's there. Secondly, we're also building out a secured implementation of Harvester. For us, Harvester has really taken off. It provides a lot of capabilities around the federal government, but our customers are looking for something differentiated in the upstream bits that's just this open source tool that is coming from the open internet. So what we're doing is we're actually taking the upstream Harvester product and wrapping it in body armor. We're securing it. We're providing a hardened implementation of that. Everything from FIPS, the entire way from the operating system to the application layer. SE Linux support, using our Carbide secured images on top of that, and hardening both the underlying operating system and RK2 out of the box. And the great part about that is that as we are working with DISA currently to work towards our Harvester STIG, which is in process, once that STIG is in place, if you're leveraging the Carbide Harvester implementation, it is going to be within STIG compliance. You won't have to do anything. You won't have to go and configure anything. You will just have access to these bits. And again, we built Carbide to be a pure value add to our customers. So if you have a subscription with us, you're going to get access to all these bits. And that's incredibly powerful. So if we have customers today leveraging open source Harvester, for them it's a quick transition to come over to our hardened implementation and fall within all those security guidelines. Those are my two biggest things I'm looking forward to with Carbide 2.0. The biggest thing from an industry perspective, and this has already started, but I think it's just going to continue to evolve, is this hybrid approach. Traditionally, we've gone through these iterations of on-prem to on-prem to cloud, and things like that. Where things are going is that there's no longer one size fits all for all of these, right? So I think being able to be flexible and provide the capabilities that our customers can quickly transition from one to the other is going to be hugely invaluable. That's something that is near and dear to our heart. We're Switzerland in terms of where you want to deploy your application. That's why we support all the major cloud providers, a lot of the on-prem data center, hypervisor solutions that are out there, and virtually any Kubernetes distribution under the sun. We try to be Switzerland when it comes to that approach. So I think the industry from that perspective is going to just continue to shift towards those more hybrid approaches. I think the edge is going to continue to evolve. I think the more compute that can be executed out at the edge and the further that edge can be, the better off we are, especially in the federal government where there's always a constant threat that comms and traffic is going to be not able to be exfilled back to a cloud or leverage cloud infrastructure. So the more compute you can do at the tactical edge, especially as AI and ML and data processing evolves, having the ability to perform those data-centric workloads at the edge is going to continue to be a very increasingly demanded capability. And lastly, security. There's been a number of supply chain attacks in the software realm over the past few years. Everyone knows SolarWinds. There was an NPM issue. Remember Log4 Shell. Those attacks are just going to continue to grow both in number and complexity. So I think securing the supply chain and providing the capabilities to secure that are going to be incredibly important. And there's no silver bullet when it comes to supplying the software supply chain. Everyone needs to do their part because you're only as strong as your weakest link. So from our side of things, that's definitely one of our focuses to make sure that our customers have that reassurance that when they're getting software from us, it is coming from a secure supply chain.